Welcome back. This is our Vodafone Motorsports update. And last year, an Indian team made it to the Formula One podium for the first time. This year, it's possible that we could see an Indian driver doing the same thing. Yes, Karun Chandhok has finally made it to the big and speedy world of Formula One. He will be racing for the Hispania Racing F1 team alongside Brazilian Bruno Senna, nephew of former great Ayrton Senna. Well, Chandhok follows in the footsteps of Karun Chandhok, who represented Jordan Formula One team in 2005. Whilst rumours of Chandhok signing for Force India did the rounds late last year, it never materialised for the 26-year-old, with the seat being offered to Italian Vitantonio Liuzzi instead. Chandhok will finally make his F1 debut next week at the season opener in Bahrain, but the competitiveness of the Hispania racing car remains a huge question mark. The team skipped pre-season testing, reportedly due to a mixture of the car not being ready and an absence of the necessary funding, which is probably about the same thing.
So, with all that in mind, here's a question for you. Is Karun Chandhok and his Hispania Racing F1 team up against it? Are they going to be even lesser alight than some of the lesser lights already in F1? Well, Engine Block's Sanjeev Palla put that poser to our Formula One expert, Steve Slater.
Rain is going to be a challenge for all the new teams, but with no testing time to basically shake the car down and get its reliability, every time that car takes to the track is going to be another test session for them. And Karun Chandhok's got a very big challenge ahead of him, no two ways about it. The good news is Hispania Racing team have got a car designed by Dallara. They're the people who've designed the GP2 Racing Series cars over the past years. Karun knows those cars inside out.
Do you think a bad start to his racing career could actually damage his motorsports career in the long run?
Well, sadly, Formula One is littered with people for whom the Formula One dream turned into a nightmare, whether it was Luca Badoer, whose Ferrari debut last year was less than glorious, or whether, dare I say, Karun Chandhok really was hobbled with the reputation of perhaps being too much expectation put on him when he was driving a Jordan, which at best was a lower down the pack car. It is going to be tough, but I think Karun has two things going for him. One is he's immensely talented, and there's no two ways about it. I think he's capable of driving an F1 car as quick as at least half of the drivers on the grid already. The other thing with him is that he will have Bruno Senna to match himself against. So in other words, he has a known quantity. If he can outpace Bruno Senna, the rest of the F1 world will know he's something pretty special.
So realistically, what should Karun Chandhok be aiming for this season?
Beating his teammate, first of all, number one. Getting to the end of the race and doing as many laps as he possibly can, number two, because with every lap comes a little bit more knowledge of how the car works, how the reliability will be demonstrated and everything else. And number three, if he can score a championship point in his debut year, he should be happy.
He was in a GP2 car prior to this. He did pretty well. He's won races. It's not a big leap into a Formula One car, is it?
In some respects it is, and in fact Karun talked us around the GP2 car last year at Silverstone, if you remember, and he was showing us, you know, it is a 200 horsepower leap, but it's a logical leap. And Karun has, in 2008, tested with the Toro Rosso team, and he did quite a lot of miles in the Ferrari engine Toro Rosso, so he does know how an F1 car works. He's hitting the ground running, perhaps more so than his team. For them, it's probably an even bigger step up to build the car and get it onto the start line in Bahrain.
He's a very intelligent young man and should go far. For the record, this is not the first time that Chandhok has driven an F1 car. He tested with Red Bull in '07. He has been a regular front-runner in the GP2 series with podiums and wins at legendary circuits like Spa, Monaco and Silverstone. Prior to the GP2 series, Chandhok was the Formula V6 Asia Renault champion in '06 and was a regular front-runner in British Formula 3. That was with T-Sport. He was also the youngest ever Asian Formula champion in '01 and the youngest Indian national racing champ. That was back in 2000.
Vodafone Motorsports Update is brought to you by Vodafone.